Today we're answering the question, what is DC Dark Legion? Lock in, boys and girls, because DC Dark Legion is the official DC strategy game. And to be honest, this game kind of surprised me. When the makers of the game reached out and asked if I'd like to make a video, I wasn't really sure what to expect. But what I found was a base building collection game with tons of PvE and PvP that rewards game knowledge, collection, and a little bit of luck as well. And I found myself constantly wanting to pick the game back up and progress my account. Now, before we go further, a big thank you again to the makers of the game for sponsoring this video. And at any point, you can use my sponsored link down below in the description or my QR code on screen to go download the game. And using that link supports my channel. Now is an awesome time to go download the game so you can enjoy all of the new Halloween content. In fact, I'll even put a code down below in the description of this video for some extra goodies to give you a head start on your journey. So let's start from the top. What do you do in DC Dark Legion? Well, the primary hub of action is what I've got on screen now, and this is your personal Batcave, where you're going to build out your base. There are a bunch of things that you can do in this base, ranging from researching new things that advances you and your team. You can build drones to accelerate your progress through the different rooms that you're going to collect and upgrade. You'll build out your bio lab, which is going to let you enhance your heroes. Each of these rooms has a different function. You can even put champions into those different rooms to enhance their effectiveness. And let's talk about champions while we're here. So you've got your Batcave, and it's inhabited by your roster of champions. That's right, the ones that you actually collect will show up in your Batcave, and this is who your Batcave is built for, the superheroes. Now, in this screen, this will give you sort of a sneak peek of like, hey, here's all these different champions that you could go and collect. I only have a small number of the total number of champions that are collectible in the game, but not bad progress for about a day or so of playing the game 100% free to play. In fact, I was kind of impressed with the depth of roster I was able to start to create, just enjoying sort of playing around in the game. I mean, I don't do anything casually, so I was really kind of grinding a bit, but I was having a lot of fun doing that. And I like when a game gives you an opportunity to push your progress, free to play, converting time into account value. That's exactly what I was doing. Now, your list of champions here, you can upgrade them in a bunch of different ways. One way you can upgrade them is to increase their level. Increasing their level increases their stats, as you can see on the screen. Another way you can upgrade them is to increase their star level. In fact, I think I can do that right now for Harley Quinn. To do that, there's actually a quest series that you can do to sign an event. Yeah, hopefully this will still be around when you're playing. I bet you it will be. But I get a full unlock of Harley Quinn here. I happen to unlock her another way, which I'll show you in just a minute how you do your summons here. But with those 10 shards of Harley Quinn, I can go in and do a star upgrade on her. In fact, I can evolve her not just once, but twice. Now doing that 3 times, woo! Doing that is unlocking new skills. It's giving me more stats. This is another way you can upgrade your heroes. In addition, once you reach certain level gates, you need to raise your level cap using some of the items that you get from the bio lab in your Batcave. So we can increase the level cap as well. That's giving me a bunch of stats. I actually can do this for a bunch of my champions. Dude, I got upgrades to do, baby. Saving them for the video. Anyways, you also can go and equip gear to your champions. You can see I've done that here. Gear gives a variety of different stats. Here you can see hit points and defense, percentage base boosts, flat boosts. There's also crit and a bunch of other stuff. There's even special items you can equip to your champions. In this case, I've got attack and crit rate, as I was sort of describing. So you can enhance your champions with gear, and you can enhance your champions with something called Force. Now, Force is kind of like a talent tree where you customize the way that your champion is performing. As an example on Green Arrow here, one direction I could go is giving me crit rate. Another direction is giving me hit points, so I go punchy or I go tanky. And there's lots of different options as you build out your champions, all right? So each champion, as you might have guessed, has a role or a strength or even a weakness. I love when games give you the opportunity to min-max, and an example of that in my own roster is that Wonder Woman is very tanky. She goes in the front line. She protects the team. Meanwhile, Mara sits in the back line. She heals the whole team. All right. So each champion in your roster fills a different role and you customize them to fit the role that you want them to play or to make them a little bit stronger or weaker in a certain direction. All right. Now, there are lots of ways that you can get champions. I showed you how you can get them free to play, just sort of logging in. But another way that I've been collecting champions is by doing summons with the planetary energy keys. Now, something I really like about this particular system is that you see in the upper right, I'm getting credit towards another planetary energy key every time I open a key. So when I decode this purple, I assume this is an epic key, I get rewards, but it progresses me towards getting a free legendary box over here, which is pretty legit. So I'll do these blue ones, and that gets me this loot, but also progress. Woo! And now I tap that, and I got that as a reward. So for summoning, I get to do more summons, which is really, really, really cool. I am enjoying this aspect. Dude, full pull on Green Arrow is a W. I don't know if I can star him up now. Can we do it? Can we do it? We can star him up. Ooh, this is my first blue star. Okay. Very cool. Very cool. So summoning is a way that you can get your heroes. There's events. There's also different types of summons as well. At the exact time of this recording, there's a special recruitment going on as a part of a Superman limited draw. And this is where I'm getting some really powerful stuff over here. This is where, okay, well, in this case, I got a champion, which I already had, which converted into force, which is how I get the sort of talents as I was showing you earlier. Oh my gosh. There's also those weapons I was showing you. You can get the weapons from here. There it is. I finally got one. What are you doing with all these champions, Chiscool? You customize your base, you collect your champions. Well, one of the very first things the game is going to direct you to do is to hit the world map and go fight crime. All right. There's a bunch of places you can go and do that. You can see here that there's lots of different rewards to be had. I can go send a team out to battle over here. I happen to overpower this by so much, I instantly get the rewards. I'm getting XP for my heroes, or champions rather, and I'm getting money. But you can see there's also other players all over here. I can infiltrate their team and yoink some loot, which is pretty wild. No, I'm not going to do that now, but I do want to show you some combat. And what I want to show you here is the Dark Portal. Dark Portal's in the center of the screen. Okay, you see it up top. And you're going to figure out you need to go here, in part because you're going to be following the missions in the early game here to progress your account. The missions have a lot of really great loot. Do the missions. They're going to tell you what to do. So you can't mess up the direction of your account. So follow the missions. That'll tell you where to go and what to do. And as you defeat the Dark Portal, you get all this sweet loot. Like I'm on the verge of getting an energy key here, one of the gold energy keys, the Order energy key. So yeah, that's the big pulse, baby. And then I get a full pull of an Aquaman, dude. So let's go challenge the Dark Portal. There it is in the center. Let's slam, baby. Now the way combat works in this game is that you control when your champions use certain abilities. Now, I'm going to make the argument that I overpower this probably by enough that I can just run this on auto and talk to you a little bit about what's going on. So I'm going to do that. There's also a bunch of really cool animations that I've got those turned off at the moment, and I'm running at 2x speed because we've got 9 waves of battle here in the Dark Portal that we've got to complete. Now, something I noticed as I was battling my way through the Dark Portal was that even if I don't finish the entirety of the Dark Portal, the amount of progress I get is retained. So I can always go back later if I do lose. And one of my champions did fall, by the way, but no worries, I'll come back. All right. So we go on to the next level here and I can select the team. We're going to go with the same team. Technically, I could do a few upgrades to make this a little bit easier. And maybe I should put Harley Quinn in the front and then all of the plus green hearts on my team. That's Mera in the back with the big heals, as I was describing. Green Arrow chilling in the back, rocking some DPS. All right. And that is how the combat works. Now, again, it's automatically using these abilities. I'm going through this pretty quickly because I actually do think, overpower this and I don't need to overly analyze kind of what I need to be doing. But I will point out that there are bonuses you get for matching up different types of heroes. So you can see the Justice League champions here are giving me a faction bonus. Deploying 4 Justice League champions increases their attack and hit points. This is massive, all right? And I only have 1 from the Suicide Squad, but Harley Quinn is so goated, I'm using her. Also, she's really cool looking. And it looks like if I log in for 7 days, I might get a special weapon for her. That's what I saw earlier, there when I was looking on that screen. So at the time of this recording, 3 days gets you the unlock, 7 days gets you her weapon. Pretty cool. Now, obviously, you're going to want to star them up to get a lot of value from them, but I think it's a W. So Mara's in the back doing damage and healing. Wonder Woman is so shielded up. Like, I just don't even think I could possibly lose her in an encounter unless it's just snowballing out of control. And at that point, it's just GG anyways. Now, there's a bunch of different rewards I'm getting here. These you'll recognize. The energy keys are for pulling. But the number, the 100 that showed up on the right, that is actually, I believe, like population for your the outside of your Batcave, which I'll show you in just a minute. But that's an area where you further kind of customize the exterior to your base, and you can get a bunch of bonuses and perks there, including a bunch of money. Harley Quinn doing that slam, baby. Boom, boom, boom. Now, I think I have just a minute 25 to beat this stage, and that should be enough time. I think for me, as long as I can heal through the DPS that they're doing, I'll probably have enough DPS at this point to push through the stage. I think this gives you a pretty good idea, though, of how that combat works. Let's return out from now. And like I said, you see I'm 4 out of 10 on the Dark Portal, so I can go back to that whenever I want, and I can push my progress there, which I will do later. Now, there obviously are a bunch of things on this world map that I need to go and do. And your world map will actually rank up the more quests you do here. Your task rarity goes up, task refreshes goes up, the ally task refreshes go rewards. You're getting good scaling here based on doing stuff. In fact, this is the most full this screen has been for the past couple of days because I wanted to save up a few things for the video. But you want to slam through all of these, and then when you run out of these, there's another area you can jam called the SON. The SON's in the bottom left, and there are a series of different challenges, both PvE and PvP, that lets you flex your roster against challenges that give you different types of rewards or challenges that go against different players. So the Anti-Crime Network, as an example, is a place where I can spend my intelligence points, my intel points, to go and get different rewards that I might need. So this reward all the way on the left is for hitting different level tiers on my champions. Here we can get XP. Here we can get stuff for crafting. And these we can use for tech research chips. So if I, raid the last level, I'll just get some rewards, which is pretty cool. I could raid 6 times, but there's a ton of different challenges here, including a, PvP arena, as I was describing, the meta brawl, where you're battling against other players. I can go hit somebody here. Oh, I beat all these teams. I beat all of them. So now I'm going to go battle against another player. All right. And this is some other player's roster. This is asynchronous combat. So you're going to set up a team for defense. And now I'm going to swing in to attack. We do have Harley Quinn in here, so I'm feeling pretty confident about my ability to win. Good damage up front. As far as I can tell, she's decently tanky, but, yeah. We are chilling. There we go. I don't know if she's as tanky. Now, one challenge that's pretty cool that you unlock at War Room level 15 is the Darkest Timeline Challenge series. It's basically a roguelike dungeon where you go in and the choices you make influence the rest of your dungeon run. And when you do this, you're going to be recruiting different heroes to your squad, choosing which way to go, and that impacts what you'll fight or what you'll add to your squad. I like this style of game mode because it generally has a lot of replayability and also challenges you to use your roster in new and different ways. All right, so you're not fighting alone in your Batcave. Oh, by the way, the shelter is what I was showing you. Here is the exterior, okay, of your base, and like there's different upgrades you can do. So I actually need more civilians. That's what they're called. It's not population, it's civilians. To do more upgrades here in the exterior of my base, but I have done a bunch of these upgrades already. And if I get a look here, yeah, I've got basic quarters, financial quarters, construction centers, which is, I think, giving me construction speed, and then research centers giving me research speed, W. In fact, wait, if I go to the bonuses, yes, they are speed ups. Cool. Very nice. So a bunch of customization you could do, but as I was mentioning, you're in a league and you're not on your own. So you'll join a league, which is the equivalent of a clan or an alliance from other games you may have played. And there's a bunch of benefits and team-based events that you will do. One of the benefits or perks is that there's a bunch of research, and this It just gives you, I mean, a whole bunch of perks for your account progression, if for no other reason than like, here's research speed, right? And here's construction speed to build out your base and further your research. But I think this gives you a pretty good overview, okay, of what you need to know at the very start if you want to download, and I'd encourage you to do so, DC Dark Legion. Big thank you again to the makers of the game for sponsoring the vid. I've been having fun playing, and if you want to play too, you can use my QR code on screen or the link in the description. Also use the code Halloween25 for some free in-game rewards. Now is an amazing time to download the game because there's a bunch of Halloween events that are going to be going on. You're not going to want to miss it. And will your roster be powerful enough to survive the night? Download and find out, all right? And I'll see you in the game. Huge thank you again to the makers of the game for sponsoring the vid, and thank you for using my sponsored link to download the game.